Fraud is no longer just a risk for auto dealers, it has become part of everyday operations. Experian Automotive's Fraud Protect solution helps you catch income, identity, and trade-in fraud in real time without slowing down the sale. Stop fraud. Keep deals moving. Experian Automotive's Fraud Protect.
Hey, this is Daily Drive executive producer Jake Neer in Detroit. Welcome to this bonus episode of the show. As you heard on Weekend Drive, our own Kellen Walker sat down with Larry and Mike to dig into stories including Ford's product pipeline, Carvana's new car pricing strategy, and that BMW Spider-Man dashboard experiment that didn't go great. They also had another conversation that we weren't able to fit into the Weekend Drive episode, but here we are, and we have space now. So this is about the report you may have heard earlier this week from our own Urvaksh Karkaria that Nissan is spending big on incentives even as the rest of the industry pulls back. In July, they were roughly $4,000 per vehicle, up more than 13%. So Kel asked Larry and Mike about it. Is it smart? Can it actually stick? Here's that conversation.
Our colleague Urvaksh Karkaria reported this week about Nissan increasing incentives while its competitors are pulling back. Traditionally, in this industry, that's called buying share. Now, Larry, is that what Nissan is doing here? Is it any different than another automaker doing something similar?
So the answer is not really. They are doing it a little differently. However, the overall effect is not really different. They are trying to they have a market share goal. They want to restore a good portion of the market share that they've lost in the last several years as things have gone. They've been out in the wilderness for a while, and they're trying to get back on their feet. They are doing it kind of smart, though. They're incentivizing their retail sales. They're cutting way back on their fleet sales, which they needed to do because those really hurt your residual values on the other side. And they're trying to draw customers in, and it's working. I mean, they have been losing share. Their lunch, like several automakers, their lunch is being eaten by Hyundai Kia, largely. So I think what you're seeing is an aggressive response by Ivan Espinosa and the rest of the team at Nissan. We'll see if it works. I think it's going to be really interesting if Nissan can come back. I mean, this entire industry is based on product, right? So the thing that they need first and foremost is product. They are bringing back the Xterra to get back in the off-road game, which is something they've abandoned. It'll be really curious to see how this plays out.
What are your thoughts, Mike?
Well, I think there needs to be a step two here. As Larry said, it seems they're doing this in a relatively smart way, but to what end? And as he mentioned, that end is the product. They need new product to keep customers engaged and focused and make sure that they're not just buying up a bunch of share in the short term and then losing that all in the coming years. And, we've reported on some of their efforts to sort of group vehicles, I think sort of simplify manufacturing, cut down manufacturing time and costs. So it seems like they're taking the right steps here. In the short term, right now, this gets them in a little bit better position. Buying share doesn't always work, but in a market like this that is flat, if not falling, may not be the worst thing to juice the sales a bit. And then when you have new product coming that you hope will sort of capture those customers for the long term, could set them up pretty well.
Fraud is no longer just a risk for auto dealers. It has become part of everyday operations. According to Experian Automotive, nearly 9 out of 10 dealers say fraud is a top concern, and 70% say it's on the rise. We're talking about real deals slipping through, costing dealerships $10,000, even $20,000 per incident. And it's not just one type of fraud. You've got forged income documents, fabricated salaries, synthetic identities, even trade-in scams. The worst part? Catching fraud often slows everything down, adding friction to deals and frustrating legitimate customers. That's where Experian Automotive's Fraud Protect solution comes in. It's designed specifically for dealers, helping you quickly detect income, identity, and trade-in ownership before it hits your bottom line. No guesswork, no unnecessary delays, just faster, more consistent verification so you can protect your profits while keeping the buying experience smooth. Because the goal isn't just to stop fraud, it's to keep good deals moving. Experian Automotive's Fraud Protect. Know more, risk less, sell smarter.
The really interesting thing here is not, can they buy sales up front? It's can they get those people back? Because that's how you make this sustainable, right? You make this investment worthwhile if you can get people to buy a Nissan and then get them to buy a second Nissan when the incentives are, the incentive war calms back down. If you can do that, if you can get them back and you do that with quality and you do that with ownership experience, if you can get them back, then it works. Then it's a great investment in your future. If you don't, then you've just, piddled it away on a short-term gain.
Thanks for listening to this bonus episode of Daily Drive. Come back on Monday for a brand new full episode of the show.